This is the Brave New Coin Crypto Conversation, hosted by Andy Pickering.
Hi everyone, Andy Pickering here. I'm your host and welcome to the Crypto Conversation, a Brave New Coin podcast where we talk to the people building the future in the Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency space. Hello everyone, Andy Pickering here, and we have a very good show for you today. But before we get into it, need to shout out our new sponsor, Nexo. Yes indeed, are you ready to grow your wealth with the world's leading digital assets institution, Nexo? Well, you should be ready, because you can earn up to 12% on your digital assets with Nexo's high yield savings account. That's right. So treat yourself, treat your crypto, and treat your fiat with the industry's best crypto and fiat services, which include compounding interest paid out daily. There are 18 available cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, various stablecoins, and many more. And 3 fiat currencies are accepted, the euro, the pound, and USD. And Nexo has up to $375 million worth of insurance across all custodial assets. Top-ups and withdrawals are available at any time, and there are 0 fees for using the Nexo Earn Suite. So, are you ready to start earning? Of course you are. Simply go to nexo.io, and of course that is spelt NEXO.io. And now it's on with the show. My guest today is James Gillingham. James is the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder at FINXFLO, which promises to be the world's first regulated hybrid liquidity aggregator, and the platform is launching very soon, next month, I believe, but you can sign up for it right now. Welcome to the show, James.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, look, it is a pleasure. So I'm excited to learn all about FINXFLO today. But just before we do that, as I understand it, you are quite an interesting character yourself. You have a unique background. I believe you are actually a professional football player for a while. And well, you know, there's some football going on at the moment. I watched England go through to the final just this morning myself, but enough about me and my football watching habits. Let's hear about yourself. Take it away, James.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, correct. When I left school, I left reasonably young, 15, 16 years old. Back when I signed professional contracts, I was actually on what's classed as a youth training scheme, so a YTS, which was the last kind of tail end of, you know, cleaning the first team players' football boots and stuff like that. It was not as luxurious as what it is now for the youngsters, but it was fantastic to be a part of, you know, a professional sport. Really enjoyed it, and you know, it really geared me up to move into the next part of my life. I was playing training every single day. I was also playing reserve team football at 16, 17, and then about to break into the first team. So I was training every single day with first team, and then unfortunately I got injured. So after getting injured and then going through the rehabilitation, being told that I'd be unable to play again, was obviously heartbreaking. However, it opened up a new fantastic life and career within the financial services, and essentially becoming a trader, which I did. I become a junior trader for an investment bank. I was very lucky, but I managed to have a very good network. So I managed to get into being essentially trade support, and then became a junior trader, and then after about a year, because I'm very obsessive over the things that I kind of apply myself to, I then slowly worked my way up. Became essentially head of desk for Forex. So I was an FX and derivatives dealer, and then I ended up getting headhunted by a company by the name of IAM, International Asset Management. At the time it's a $4 billion fund of funds. So I was part of the team that was managing that money. Whilst I was there, I was kind of also developing fully automated trading algos. We were one of my old buddies from school. So we were super successful. Actually, we initially run the algos on demo accounts, obviously with fake money, and then we ended up going into a live environment. We took $50,000 up to $1 million. I then quit my day job of managing $4 billion, and then started my first entrepreneurial venture at the age of 23. When I created my company JageroFX, that was very successful for a period of time. Then it was less successful because the volatility and the VIX, the vol died. So I ended up selling that company. Being so young, I actually started to travel a little bit around the world, having lots of parties and lots of fun. Being a young kind of guy with 6-7 figures in my bank account. Then I was still helping people establish essentially brokerages, so forex brokerages. But that was my first foray back into crypto way back then. I actually hired a guy during my days as founder of Jagero, and he first put me into Bitcoin back in 2013, and I purchased about 384 for 400 Bitcoin. It was on Mt. Gox, MT Gox, way back in 2013, 2014. And then obviously MT Gox got hacked. I ended up losing my funds, so I went back into the traditional world, back into forex. Still kind of traveling around the world, and then I was trading, and then kind of went back into crypto in 2017, and that's when I really saw, the issues where, being a trader, I always want best execution, best price, but better liquidity, top of book. By trading through individual exchanges, I was unable to get global best price unless I was signing up to 3, 4, 5, 6 different accounts, and then obviously having 5 or 6 different accounts open, trying to hit the best price for my crypto was almost impossible, right? Because you're monitoring it. Even running algos alongside was super difficult. So then I kind of started to look into the world and saying, well, why is there no aggregator? Why is there no essentially prime brokerage in crypto? So that's when I came up with the idea and started doing my research and looking to see what else was out there. There was absolutely nothing that was basically focusing for retail and institutional in kind of like a regulated environment. Because obviously, after losing my Bitcoin on Mt. Gox, I was super concerned about others losing funds and going through that same journey. So I then ended up ensuring that when we rolled this out 2 years ago, it was in a safe and secure manner, ensuring that there's the custody, private keys, etc., are all kept safe. But ultimately, we essentially route orders. So right now we aggregate over 25 different liquidity providers. A liquidity provider is an exchange, so it may be like a Coinbase, a Binance, a Kraken, an FTX, or it can be the OTC market making desks or the RFQs, which are requests for quotes. So our depth of book and liquidity. So instead of having to sign up to all of these accounts, you come to FINXFLO, only one place, only have one account, and basically you get routed through to the best price. And finally, so I won't go on forever, but finally, we also most centralized exchanges have tokens that they list. So for instance, Coinbase will list certain tokens, Binance will list certain tokens, FTX, Bitfinex, whoever it may be. Whereas because we're an aggregator, again, you come to one place only to trade all crypto. So you're able to get the aggregated tokens instead of having to go to the underlying exchanges themselves. You just come to us and you can trade absolutely everything. By the end of this year, we're aiming to have over 150 to 200 different assets to be fully tradable.
Crikey, James. Well, you've given us a lot of info to digest there. So let's just rewind slightly then. So did you say you've been working on FINXFLO for around 2 years? So let's just understand kind of where everything is at and the website. So I think the URL is just FINXFLO.com. Listeners, if you want to check out what James has been working on, and it does look like quite an exciting and very substantial platform, and you've talked through some of the features which we'll circle back to, James. But yes, just rewind slightly and give us, I guess, the origin story, how long you've been pulling all this together.
Yeah, so it started back in 2019. Before that, it was like 2017, 2018. I was trading, couldn't really find the best price. And after getting so frustrated towards the end of 2018 was when I was like, right, that's it. I've had enough. Like, nobody else is doing this. Let me see if I can put the team together that will be able to build this from scratch. So that's when I initially reached out to Thomas Plaskasinski, who's my fellow co-founder, fellow co-founder, and he was basically a tech guy. So I'm obviously business and trading. I understand execution. I understand brokerages. I understand execution to the minutiae, but I can't build. I can't code, right? So I knew that I needed someone that was really my right hand guy that would just build this from scratch. So after he's worked in he's got a very similar background to me. He's worked in like I'd say the top tier 1, tier 2 banks and investment houses. He's actually built an options and derivatives pricing platform for one of these banks. So I knew that he was the perfect kind of guy to help me with this. We initially sat down and I gave him the idea of what I was looking to achieve. And it's quite weird because we was in an expo, and in this expo there was all these other kind of exchanges or kind of OTC market making desks, and as we was looking along, I was like, I wonder why nobody else is looking at this. Like, surely I'm not the only one. And when I first started pitching people way back in early 2019 and talked to them, hey, this is the idea, this is what I'm going to build, this is like really excited about it, right? And these people are like, it's rubbish. Like, you need to worry about becoming the biggest exchange. And I was there and I was thinking, no, this is outrageous. Why can nobody else actually get this? After speaking to like 5, 10, 15, 20 people that are so-called experts within the space, right? But they were unable to see the way that, or unable to see what I could see, because there's so much benefit being added to an aggregator, especially for newbie traders, and also for the institutions, because the counterparty risk of anybody signing up to, say, an OKX. So OKX stopped withdrawals for well over a month. Coinbase often stops withdrawals or actually stops pricing, same as Binance. So the counterparty risk to actually having your funds sat with any of these underlying exchanges, wherever they may be, is actually going to be super great because it's a centralized system. Whereas with us, again, it kind of sounds like a huge sales pitch, but realistically, I'm so passionate about what we do because we can save people a lot of money, right? So instead of having your funds locked up in one centralized exchange, you come to us. The funds will never ever be placed on the underlying exchange themselves. So even if the exchange like Binance or whoever were to stop pricing or to go down, which has happened time and time again, the last time that happened was only a month or so ago, then all of our customers can still transact, they can still trade, they can still get in and out their positions, and their funds are totally secure in a third-party regulated custodian where they can request their funds to be released immediately. So we're really trying to de-risk the whole crypto industry as a whole for both institutional and retail customers, and obviously make it super attractive for the super retail guys, because people like me that were moving into crypto back in 2013, I had no idea about private keys or absolutely anything. So we really want to make it so simple that anybody can sign up, anyone can trade, and it's in a super secure environment.
Yeah, very interesting, James. And I saw, you talk about building this platform for both retail traders and I suppose institutions or more sophisticated traders. And so, is there a risk that you're trying to build a one-stop solution that caters to everyone, or do you think you can provide a solution that does actually meet the different kind of needs and requirements of the different user groups?
It 100% meets both user groups, 100% hand on heart. We have actually developed the front end the front end, which is essentially the UI, right? So you go to FINXFLO.com, you sign up, you run through KYC, and you start trading, right? You can trade the majors, whatever you want to be able to trade. It's super easy, super intuitive. You can click on the multi-screen charting, one-click trading. We've basically integrated everything from all of our market analysis and research, and obviously being traders for many years, but also speaking to our friends and family and people around us that are not really traders, but saying, okay, so log into the account. And basically just execute a trade. Can you do it? How can you do it? So that really covers the real basic, the real basic retail customers up to the more sophisticated retail. Now the actual sophisticated institutional guys, or the institutional guys, mainly I would say a majority of them, 80% are going to be fixed API. So it's going to be an API doc. So again, for any of the institutional guys listening, you can go to api.finxflo.com. It's open APIs, it's open source, and they can basically plug straight in. Then we also have deferred settlement. So for the larger traders that are locking in, say, 100, 200, 300 million dollars, they most likely have that working for them in another area of crypto. So they will be able to actually trade through us on leverage. So only placing, say, 100K and getting 10-to-1 leverage, and also getting T+3. So they will not have to clear those trades for 3 days. So coming from the institutional world myself, I already know what the hedge funds, what the money managers, what the prime of prime guys need, what the market makers need. I already understand exactly what they need, and then trying to position ourselves so that we do cater for both 100%. However, we also are extremely reactive. So we're just onboarding a bunch of larger hedge funds and institutions as we speak, and we are obviously getting active feedback. And anywhere within the platform, because we are new, and anywhere where they believe that we need to improve, we are actively taking this feedback. It's getting reported to our project management team, and it goes back to the technical team, and then the tech guys then execute the changes as per the roadmap. So it is obviously, it's also being crypto. We also like to have the community aspect as well.
Right. And so, look, so I understand the idea of being a hybrid liquidity aggregator, and essentially being able to access, different exchanges such as Binance or Coinbase or whatever it is through the one interface, which, I understand why that would be an attractive proposition. Tell us also how that works in terms of DeFi, James, because I think that's really where you start to provide something that is actually really interesting. If you can kind of be that one-stop solution that bridges both DeFi and CeFi all through the one interface, right?
Yeah, so we are purely CDeFi. So what that essentially means is that we allow accessibility to our clients to access both decentralized finance as well as centralized. We aggregate the centralized trading pairs, as well as giving accessibility to things like staking, lending, borrowing, farming, in a regulated environment, because by its nature, decentralized finance is non-regulatable, but the regulators are now regulating around decentralized finance, and there's a lot of people that have moved into DeFi and actually lost a lot of money. There's been numerous hacks. There's been numerous amounts of funds being lost. So what our angle within the actual market is really to police the DeFi industry as a whole. When we are aggregating protocols, we are doing code reviews. We're reviewing absolutely everything. We're kind of sense checking the systems as well, and then obviously offering the most attractive borrowing and lending rates. So we're working on a model now where there's numerous different APIs that you can get within different pools of liquidity, and we are now going to execute the aggregation of this, so that automatically, if the APY is a lot higher within a different farm, we will be able to route the funds through to the largest APY. So essentially, it's kind of like an algorithmic money management, but we're also breaching both DeFi and CeFi in a way that I believe that nobody else currently in this world is approaching it.
Very interesting, James. Okay, well, talk to us about, I guess, the roadmap to launch then. What does that look like? When do you actually go live? And are there any, I guess, like, country restrictions on the kinds of users that can sign up and use the platform?
Wow, a lot of questions rolled into one. Right. Okay. So the first question was around. Sorry, could you just repeat the first one?
Okay,
The first part of it.
yeah. Let's first of all, James. Let's cover off. I suppose launch is there. I know you kind of people can sign up now. So just tell us how that works. Is it a kind of a soft launch, a staged launch, and what does that look like?
All right. Okay. Yeah. So we are currently live, but we haven't opened up the floodgates. So we have a number of people that are actually trading on the actual system. When we opened up around a month ago, we automatically saw that there was a small change that was required to be made. So instantly we stopped trading. The reason why we started off very, very slowly, because we want to make sure that obviously we don't get it wrong with people's funds. So basically, we onboarded a bunch of people that we know very, very closely. Instantly, there were a few issues that needed to be ironed out. There was some ledger issues that we had to kind of polish up, which has now been done. It's now been completed. Then there was some other issues with regards to the rebalancing on the underlying LPs. That's also now been dealt with. So now we're continuing with our testing. I would anticipate that within the next 2 to 3 weeks we should be there or thereabouts to be able to open up the taps, assuming that there's no further issues. But then we will be opening up, obviously very slowly, because I don't want to open up to 10,000, 100,000 different traders, and then all of a sudden we've got 100,000 people calling our 10 or 12 man or 10 or 12 person support team, right? Because it's not going to be achievable for us to give the number one customer support and service that we expect to give to everybody. So we'll be opening up the taps slightly slower, but I would say by early August it should be gung ho, and everybody will be able to sign up, and everyone will be able to enjoy global best price on all their crypto purchases.
Fantastic. And look, just as we begin to finish off this part of the podcast, then, James, I believe there's a token as well. So the FXF token. So just give us the kind of the snapshot of what the token is used for.
Yeah, so the FXF token has numerous utilities, but the major utility, which I guess that most of the listeners would really understand the most, is very, very similar to BNB in its nature, where it gives a reduction to trading fees. So just by paying in FXF, you'll get a significant discount from your trading fees. So obviously you'll be getting better pricing, even better pricing on your crypto transactions. So that's the major utility right now. However, there are another 4 or 5 different utilities that are also going to be executed. So we have numerous tiers with regards to rebates. So what we have is a rebate model. So the more execution, the more volume that traders actually give us, the bigger the rebate that we will give. So it's essentially like a cashback. So we will be giving cash back. Now, if people decide to purchase the FXF token and then they want to be able to stake that token and they want to go into, say, tier 6 of rebates, which would be, say, a 20 basis point rebate from their execution, which is huge. Then they have to stake, say, $200,000 or $150,000 worth of FXF. However, if it's a much smaller customer and it's a retail guy, but they would also like to get rebates, then you only have to stake $10,000 worth of FXF. And then obviously by people buying and basically the utility of the FXF token, we would envisage that there should be a lot of upside potential given where we currently are, which is hovering around, I don't know, between 35 to 40 cents. We do envisage that there's a lot of upside potential given all of the utility that's about to be extrapolated in the coming months.
Okay, good stuff. All right. Well, thank you for that, James. Look, let's go to a very quick break and then we'll come back and finish off with the very famous crypto conversation hot take round.
Grow your wealth with the world's leading digital assets institution, Nexo. Earn up to 12% on your digital assets with Nexo's high yield savings account. Treat yourself, your crypto and fiat with the industry best crypto and fiat services, featuring compounding interest paid out daily, 18 available cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, stablecoins, and more. 3 fiat currencies are accepted: Euro, Pounds, and USD. Up to 375 million insurance on all custodial assets, top-ups and withdrawals available at any time, and 0 fees for using Nexo Earn Suite. Start earning at nexo.io. That's nexo.io.
All right, we're back and I'm with James Gillingham. James is the CEO and co-founder at FINXFLO. It is a new platform. It's a world first regulated hybrid liquidity aggregator going fully live in August. Looks quite useful, a lot of fun. Be interesting to watch this go. But look, James, I like to finish each podcast with just a quick round of rapid fire crypto conversation hot takes. Are you up for it?
Let's go.
All right, let's go indeed, James. I just want your hot takes, quick, snappy answers, my man. Here we go. Where would you say that you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multi-coin opportunist spectrum?
I'd say dead in the middle.
Nice. On the fence, diplomatic. I like it. Well, James, what would you say is your firmest conviction crypto opinion?
It's going to be the number one asset class within the next 5 years.
I love it. Love to see that. All right. Well, James, Bill Gates famously said that we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in 2 years and underestimate what we can accomplish in 10. Anything you like here? Bitcoin, blockchain, crypto, FINXFLO. What does it look like in 10 years' time?
That's something that I'm unable to answer due to the fact that this industry is something that Bill Gates has never been involved in, and the speed that this moves at, if you blink, you're going to miss out on amazing things. So like I have no idea where we're going to be, but where I do know is that it's going to be absolutely spectacular.
I love it. All right. Well, on a similar note, James, sci-fi author William Gibson said that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Can you think of an example of the future being here right now, but most people just aren't really aware of it?
FINXFLO, exactly what we do. We are the future. We are the number one.
Yeah.
However, now we have to go out there and within the next 6 months to year, I'm absolutely certain that everybody will know exactly the benefits that we bring.
Brilliant. All right, it's time to zoom out. Time to get a little bit weird just for a second. James, what do you see as the long-term future for the human race? Do you see dystopia or utopia?
I think utopia. I think the older that I'm becoming, I think that the world's becoming more and more unified. I think that there's when I was growing up, there was a lot more kind of racism and stuff like that was around, and I feel now in recent years this is kind of being eradicated, which is absolutely fantastic. So I think that assuming that we continue within the same vein, I think the world will become a much better place to live.
Very nicely said. All right. Well, we're almost done here, James. Time to start wrapping this up. Finally, do tell us, what is your favorite science fiction, a book, film, show, or universe?
Has to be Star Wars.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. There's nothing else that can compare, I don't think.
All right. I like it. James, this has been fun. This has been illuminating. Nothing else really to say except to hand the metaphorical microphone back to you. And look, please do just give us a final shout out for FINXFLO, what it's all about, what you're trying to solve, and where people should go if they want to engage with yourself on social media, or just sign up to learn more about FINXFLO.
Cool. Yeah. So FINXFLO, we're the world's first hybrid liquidity aggregator / prime brokerage. We give global best price for all crypto by aggregating multiple exchanges and non-exchanges. The place to find us is www.finxflo.com. That's FINXFLO without the W. So it's FINXFLO.com. You're able to find me on Twitter. So James Gillingham on Twitter, and if you type my handle in with FXF, you'll be able to find me. I've only got about 2,000 or 2,500 followers. So please follow me, and that's probably one of the best places for updates. Or most of you probably have Telegram accounts, so go to our FINXFLO official Telegram. And we are constantly updating all of our followers and participants there. So thank you so much, Andy, for having me.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much, James. We'll watch what you guys are building with interest. All the best, and bye for now.
Thank you very much. Take care.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for listening. That's today's show. Don't forget to subscribe to the Crypto Conversation in whatever podcast app you are using. And if you want to get at me, just drop me an email, andy@bravenewcoin.com. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave New Coin.